Hello from the Lac-La-Biche Museum. We are currently closed due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but life does go on. And I'm alone in the museum today for safety, but what I'm doing is I am actually installing an exhibit. And when it's done, we'll do a video tour of it so you can see it even though the museum is closed, because like I said, life goes on and work goes on. So I'm going to be talking a bit about how an installation of an exhibit works. And I will actually be installing a case a little later on. But for now, I just want to highlight my lovely little trays that I use. You can see one here. So this is actually an acid-free tray. And the reason we use acid-free for museum objects is regular cardboard is actually kind of acidic, and that acid can leach out over time and actually damage objects, which is not what we want for a museum object because they're in a museum. We're trying to preserve them. These acid-free ones are much more stable, so they're just safer for long-term storage, and I even use them for sort of these short-term trays. If you've ever donated an object, you may have seen one of these trays, because I also store donated objects in them before they go into sort of long-term safe storage. And that just keeps things separate. They're easy to identify, and again, it's acid-free, so it's relatively secure. But I also will store some exhibit objects in them, and that just makes it easier to carry it upstairs. I don't want to just throw it all in a jumbled box because these are museum objects. And I can, pick them up and very carefully carry them in my hands, but that is also not ideal because it would take me a really long time, and I could trip, I could drop it. It's just a little safer for me to have this lovely tray, and you can see I don't know how well you can tell, but these are even stored with all their individual labels, and that just makes it a lot clearer how it's supposed to be installed. And generally, before we do an installation, we would kind of assess the objects and make sure they're stable. I've kind of already done that for these guys, and the cameras are not too delicate, so we're all good. And the next video, I will actually do an exhibit.